Giant Combat is a student pitch project that poses the question, how can melee combat in virtual reality against a large enemy feel good? Taking inspiration from Shadow of the Colossus, The Climb, and other experiences that make the world seem big, Giant Combat is building prototypes and testing multiple variables to gain insight into what works and what doesn't.
The biggest challenge for me was to ensure the whole experience feels like Giant Combat. To achieve that, we had to deliver on the correct fantasy in a compelling world. This included designing a level that not only made the combat encounter feel fun and intense, but also tells the visual story of the world and the giant.
Designing combat in this space proved to be more difficult than imagined. We tried to answer the question of how can one go toe-to-toe with a large-scale enemy by using the enemy's domineering presence to our advantage and making the player's victory feel earned.
An artistic challenge involved ensuring that the art assets being created could potentially work across different prototypes. In addition, making sure that art style was consistent across different models to create a seamless world was vital.
The challenge for me came down to deciding when a prototype was fleshed out enough to try something new. There was a desire to make sure it was polished before moving on, but that philosophy clashes with fast prototyping to explore the field. In the end, we ended up with two prototypes that are different as well as polished.
One of our earliest programming challenges was to come up with traversal mechanics for the player to move on the giant. After a lot of discussion, we came up with two major mechanics that we started implementing. The first one was climbing like rock climbing, and the second was using grappling hooks to move around in space. We had to iterate a lot to come up with the exact feel that was good for us and was good for our playtesters.
Comparing what we had in quarters and what we had now, there's not a lot that stayed the same. Being able to playtest, spot the design flaws, and make valuable iterations is the biggest lesson that I learned.
A lesson we learned early on was how powerful the loom response was in creating the daunting nature of our giant. This was made even more true when coupled with the visceral nature of virtual reality.
Collaboration is always a major part of the development process. Being able to properly communicate with designers in order to create necessary assets is a vital skill and one that I was able to improve upon.
When we originally pitched this project, we assumed that motion sickness would be a core hurdle. Interestingly, it became a non-issue. We believe that the level of focus being honed in on a task seems to keep one's brain preoccupied with getting motion sick.
We noticed early on that the players do get disoriented when moving on the giant using the grappling hook. However, the level of disorientation is not so much that they cannot proceed with the level. This is because the players generally always know where they are with respect to the giant, and this enables them to keep moving towards the head of the giant.